the BZA to, I'll call the April meeting to the BZA to order. Roll call, please.
Chris Lamb.
Here.
Sarah Payne.
Here.
Peter Kemp. Dave Schlemmer.
Here.
Logan Zuber.
Here.
All right, I can confirm that we do have a quorum. Any need to, meeting minutes. The only thing that I saw with the meeting minutes to modify is the spelling of my last name in the body of it. In the header section, it is correct, but it's LAMB throughout the body. So just that one amendment from my perspective. Any other modifications to the minutes?
None that I saw.
I'll take a motion to approve with the spelling modifications.
So moved.
Second.
All right, hearing a motion in a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? All right, meeting minutes are approved. Looking through, we look at the old business. There is none. New business, we have BZA use variance 2026-004. I'll go ahead and open the public hearing for that. Staff report, please.
Thank you. James Ketterett, City Planner for Auburn. And the agenda should reflect this is a development standards variance. It says use variance.
Okay.
The case and your staff report has it correctly. It says development standards variance.
Thank you.
Just quick clarification. Sorry about the agenda. So this request this evening was filed by David Bassett requesting a development standards variance to reduce the minimum lot width requirement for a proposed new lot within the R1 zoning district. It would reduce the minimum lot width requirement from 100 feet down to 50 feet. It's for the property located at 3530 County Road 427. The variance does require publication in the Star. That was done on April 14th, and there were 5 adjacent property owners sent notice of the hearing. So the drawing, the proposed lot configuration drawing, would show what the intent is of Mr. Bassett. So currently resides in the home that's up front, the 3530 address, the driveway off of 427. What the intent here is to subdivide the property to 2 lots. That would be lot 1. Lot 2 would be the new lot in back. So that lot configuration drawing shows it's kind of a squirrely lot. It's a kind of a referred to as a flag lot often. It basically has a driveway that provides access to the lot. The lot doesn't specifically have frontage on a public street. The driveway does. In order to split this property, both lots have to have 100 foot of frontage along County Road 427. So the existing home will maintain the 100 foot of frontage. The new lot would only be able to have 50 foot of frontage. And what he's actually doing is purchasing additional 50 foot purchasing land, 50 foot of land from the property to the north to provide that lot frontage. There's an existing approach off of 427, a concrete approach off of 427. That would actually be where the driveway will go for the new lot, and it'll curve its way back behind the existing home. The lot width standard is based upon the zoning of the property, which is R1. Again, those require the lots to have 100 foot of frontage, and the lot area requirement has to be met. The adjacent properties at the corner to the north along 427 is actually zone C1 neighborhood. It's a storage building for the business. And then further to the back of that property is a garage building that's actually zoned agricultural. Agricultural was all the zoning of the property at one time, and it's kind of the remnant, what's been left. To the west of the property is actually in county zoning of residential. To the south is R1 residential. These properties are within the Auburn ETJ. A couple of photographs I took of the property. The first one does show the actual, what would be the driveway approach to the lot. And then a few other photographs showing the the rear of the property, the rear of the existing home, the area where the new home would be constructed. And that is the intent of this lot, is to construct a new residence upon the lot in the back. We did not receive any public input on this request from the legal notice or the neighbor notices. So again, the intent to construct a new single-family residence on this new lot. Driveway access would be off of that approach that I described. The requirement for the lot is to be subdivided. If they get the variance, they have to ensure that each lot is at least 14,500 square foot in area, which they would be able to do. And the new lot in the back would have to meet setbacks. So there would have to be a setback from the rear of the existing home, and any new home would have to meet setbacks on the new lot. That should all be able to be done. The only variance request, again, is that driveway, the width of that lot driveway at 50 foot. The R1 district, so he does not have an option to build a second home on the lot. The only zoning district you can have two homes on a lot is the agricultural. And the R1 zoning does not allow what's called an accessory dwelling unit. So sometimes the agricultural, the RE would allow an accessory dwelling unit. That is not an option here. So really the only option to stay on that property is to subdivide and build in the rear of the property. And I believe the intent, as Mr. Bassett will explain, would be to live in the rear home. Driveway that comes off of 427 to the new home does have to be a hard surface, like any new home within the city. Will need to be connected to city water and sewer. Water and sewer is available out along the county road, so that's a requirement. Again, it'll have to be platted. If he gets the variance approved, then he will go through the subdivision process. So lot frontage is kind of a unique request. You don't see a lot of variances for lot frontage. So it's kind of unique within the city. There have been 4 examples within the city, but it's not a scenario that we're talking about tonight. It was more for somebody just basically having a traditional lot that wasn't quite maybe 70 foot, maybe it was 60. Or this particular request is really referred to as a flag lot. So you don't see flag lots in the city. It's pretty rare. You do see them in the county. A lot of times it might be where, you have an old farmstead with the county home pushed way back off the roadway, as they want to sell off the home but keep the tillable land, and so they just put the driveway with the bigger lot, and it turns into a flag lot is what it's referred to. I even gave an example, definition of a flag lot and what they typically look like. That's in essence what we're talking about here. They're not there again. It's not something you see very often in the city. It's quite unique. When we spoke with the applicant before we filed the variance, it was very important to staff for the one neighbor to the south to talk with them, for the owner to talk with them. What you don't want to have a scenario is the whole purpose of the lot width is you have expectations of the home next to you typically being about the same type of distance off the roadway. There's no guarantee of that, but that's why you have the setbacks there and typically what you see. What you don't expect is for a second home to go behind the first home. That's pretty unique. I mean, if he had 200 foot of frontage, it could split each one 100 and 100, then absolutely could build the home anywhere he wants of the property. Specifically asking for the variance, we felt it was very important to understand the expectations of the neighbor to the south. So you have a commercial building to the north, you have basically a storage garage building to the north. The only neighbor is that one to the south. And to find, what are their thoughts if they go out their back door, they would see, in essence, the front of another home. What would be their expectations of that? So staff's recommendation was really tied closely to that, because I feel if the neighbor did object to that, I think that holds a lot of weight, because these requirements are in place to protect those existing neighbors. We did not hear from the neighbor. I'll let Mr. Bassett talk about his conversation he had with the neighbor. He shared with me that he spoke with the neighbor. We wanted him to talk to the neighbor. He said he did, and they had no objections. They're not here tonight, and they didn't contact us. So I tend to believe that. And so the recommendation, without that objection of the neighbor, we do feel that the property would accommodate the second lot. He can meet all the requirements for setbacks and for lot size, et cetera. It is a little over an acre in size lot that he has. And so the staff does recommend the board accept staff proposed findings of fact that we submitted for your consideration and approve the variance request this evening. That concludes staff report.
Question for you, as far as order of operations go, given this is contingent on their ability to acquire that adjacent land,
Yes.
to meet that 50-foot frontage range, that's not currently achieved. So to be able to approve this, are we able to approve it based on a speculation of acquisition? And does that need to be a condition tied to that? Because otherwise we're shortening to the other direction 50-foot grant.
Well, we know that he is only, so he's requested to reduce the lot width for the new lot from 100 to 50. He has to maintain 100 foot for the existing home that's there. So the only way for him, if you grant the variance, the only way for him to plat the property, he still has to have a 50-foot, is to acquire land. If he can't acquire the land, the variance is moot. He won't be able to just shift that line and take away more from the existing home. That's set at 100 feet. So he has 130 foot of frontage, so he has to acquire additional land from the neighbors, from the property to the north. I think he's co-owner of that property in order to make this happen. So I don't think it's contingent upon or subject to. I don't think we have to have a condition. The only way he's going to be able to subdivide that property, if you grant the variance at 50 foot, the only way he can then step two is subdivide, is to show us he has 50 foot, which means he has to show us he has acquired the additional land. So I think we're safe with it. That's why I did place a condition. I think that we're safe with.
And the subdivision of that is an administrative function at that point.
It really is. He has to meet the requirements. But yeah, it's something that doesn't even go to planning commission. It's just you meet all the requirements. We review the subdivision plat, and then it can be recorded.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you.
Anybody else have anything for staff? If the applicant would like to come up and introduce yourself, please give your name and address, as well as any information you'd like to share about the project.
My name is Dave Bassett. My address is 3530 County Road 427, Auburn. And we're just hoping to build a house back there on the back side of our property. My brother and I own the warehouse next to it, so getting the property is not a problem. I'm hoping that if I get the variance, that my wife and I will move back there, and then our son will purchase our house from us. So we'll be kind of grandparents to the backside of the house. So, and we do, I mean, I've talked to the neighbor. It's not going to be directly, it's going to be behind our house, but we're going to angle it towards kind of the intersection of County Road 34 and 427. So we're not going to be, looking at the neighbors behind us, and they're not going to be, looking at us. We could all be out the backyard, but, it should be, and we'll have some trees and stuff in there. So we'll block that somewhat. So.
And the 20-foot approach on that little spur piece of land you have is enough for the approach driveway with the way you have the joggle designed? So in the plan right now, that little spur piece that you would have the driveway coming off of the frontage,
Oh, yes.
is that 20 feet sufficient for your driveway passage and all of that you're
Yes.
intending? Okay.
Yep. So the drive will be here on the cement concrete, and then go back and kind of go off this way.
Yep.
Can you tell us about the conversation with the neighbor to the south of you?
I went over and showed her the plans that I had, and I had, you don't have it, but it's a drawing of where the house would set with the driveway in there. And she's like, "Oh, you take really good care of your house. And, we know that you'll build a nice house." So she was all for it. So she didn't have a problem with it.
Thank you very much. Anything else? If we have any other questions, we'll call you back up. Thank you, sir.
Okay. Thank you.
Anybody else want to speak for or against the petition? Hearing none, I'll go ahead and close the public hearing. Board discussion?
If the neighbor was upset about it, then I would say something, but if he talked to them and they're okay with it, he owns the other surrounding properties or with his brother, so
Agreed.
Same.
they're all happy.
All right. Findings of fact, Mr. Jean?
You were going to just do this by,
In mass. So, our process update, the proposal is for findings of facts, as staff presents them with the affirmative or negative identified, and then we'll vote on them as whole. If anybody does have an individual objection to a single finding of fact, please note it after the attorney puts it on the table, and then we'll modify it, the ones individually if necessary, before we take a motion.
You have the findings of fact in front of you. Are there any questions about those?
Nope.
Okay.
Does anybody see any need to modify them?
No.
All right.
Need a motion?
Then I will entertain a motion to approve the findings of fact as presented by staff.
So moved.
Second?
All right, we have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? It carries. At this point, we will entertain a motion for, it doesn't look like there's any conditions assigned to it, so we're looking either for a approval of the standard variance or a denial. So I'll open it up for a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve BZA standard variance 2026-004.
Second.
All right, we got a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Good luck, Mr. Bassett.
All right, great, thank you.
Is it Luke that's gonna be moving up?
Ethan.
Ethan, okay.
Yeah, I get it. All right, thank you.
Thank you. Reports, board members, staff.
We will have a meeting for your May meeting. We have 2 cases filed.
Okay. And then attorney? No mayor today. I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Move to adjourn.
Second.
Oh, come on.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Meeting adjourned. Thank you, thank you.
You'll learn, you get the laugh. Our plan commission was.
It's a break. It started with bad behavior from Jim.